Ladies and gentlemen, let me get this thing started. It's awesome to be back again this week with Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. Again, this is Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. I am Jeremy with Lifted Adventures. Thank you, everybody, for showing up to my amazing, wonderful podcast. The way this thing works is I have a YouTuber, mountain biker, pro, guy of the industry, somebody in the mountain biking world come on here, and you guys, yes, you get to interview them. I want you all to get to know them. I want you guys to run it. Get some questions ready for my special guest, who I'm super excited to have on tonight. Get some questions ready for him so that you guys can run it. So here, without further ado, is the man of the hour, the one who lost 500 pounds recently. It is Josh from Daily MTB Rider. Thank you, Josh, for coming on. 300 pounds, right? 500 pounds.
It was actually 600 pounds.
Oh.
If you guys saw the TLC special, like my 3,000 pound life, that was me.
Yeah.
And here I am today. I still.
You look fantastic. We're getting some freezing. This is the thing about live stream. It always does.
It's very live. But yes, I'm looking skinnier. Nothing but water and celery's working well.
That's all I eat. I mean, that's all I thought pros, professional mountain bikers do is just eat celery and water. Celery has
that sounds about right.
Negative calories, doesn't it?
Yeah, the more you chew, the more you burn.
That's what's up. That's awesome. Well, guys, like I said, I have Josh from the Daily MTB Rider. There's no the. It's Daily MTB Rider. If you have not seen this guy's channel, which I don't know how you have been living on a rock and not seen Josh's channel, my favorite channel by far, and I'll say that, and I'll admit that this is my favorite channel I like to watch. And known Josh for a little bit. You helped me create my channel back in the 1800s, and just been looking forward to you having on here. The way this works, guys, like I said, get some questions out. Start asking Josh some questions so that you can get to know him and maybe find something out about Josh you did not know prior, or find a new station, a new channel, not a station, new channel you haven't heard of before. I have his channel posted in the link in the description down below. So, yes. So you recently, how much did you actually lose?
So I'm in the middle of a weight loss journey. And so at the beginning of the year in January, I weighed 230 pounds. Yeah. When I started with Robert, it was probably like 6 weeks ago, not quite, maybe a little more. And I was at 223. Right now I'm at like 205. So I'm 25 pounds down from the year. We're going till election day. So it's not too late if somebody wants to join in and says, hey, I need to lose some weight like the rest of us. So, I'm going strong. My goal is like 170. So I've got 35 more pounds.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
5'9". Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad anymore. I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds. So.
Yeah, but you're tall, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do got a little extra down there that I need to. The wife says I need to lose. I don't think I need to lose it, but my wife definitely says I need to. She comes up and taps it, when she's saying hi instead of giving me a hug. That's the sign I need to do something about it.
I can't make this up. My wife literally was like, you're going to lose weight. She's like, you get the skinniest neck and you just look weird in all of our pictures. Don't lose too much weight. Like, how many wives tell their husbands, like, slow down, don't get too crazy now?
I've never heard of a wife said, well, I mean, I got sick, I lost a lot of weight, and she said I didn't look good. I lost too much weight. So I can understand that, but just losing weight, saying I don't want your neck to get too thin. That's interesting.
Yeah, people, you'll notice in my videos, like from the chest up, I look skinny because all my weight's in my love handles. I just keep it all right here.
And you went out there and posted. I mean, your thumbnail is you're showing it all. You're exposing it all to the world. That's
I could take my shirt off if that would make you feel more comfortable. I'm down.
I mean, how about everybody who's viewing can take their shirt off?
That sounds good. I like that.
I
I'm
like
down.
that idea better. So we got our first question. Bless times 3 is asking, is mountain biking your main source of exercise? So with that, is that your main source? I've seen you post. You got into gravel. We had been talking about gravel for a while, and I think I got a gravel bike before you. But is biking your main source of exercise right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now I broke my hand,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually did. I haven't told my viewers on YouTube yet. I posted on Instagram. Follow me and Jeremy, the Lifted Adventures on Instagram. Come on. But I broke basically, it's called a boxer's fracture. So it's
Yeah.
like down here on your hand. And I did that 2 weeks ago during a ride. I've been riding for 2 weeks, lightly mountain biking, gravel riding. And then I went to the doctor and they said, here's this splint cast and you have to wear it for 6 weeks, and not stoked.
At least it's your pinky finger, right?
No,
No,
well, no,
is it your
it's
ring finger?
below. So it's your hand.
Oh, it's your actual hand, but that the
Yeah.
pinky has to stay straight.
Yeah, so the pinky and your ring finger, because it has to be bent a little bit, but basically where I put pressure on a handlebar on my
Yeah.
right hand, that's where it hurts.
So now everybody thinks you're English. Like when
Oh, is
you
that
drink
why?
stuff with the you have the pinky out when you drink.
I often get confused. I often get confused with being Canadian, English too, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know how Canadians are. They're crazy, but they're awesome people, aren't they?
They're okay. I don't know many Canadians who are like nice, normal people, but
Yeah,
one day
no,
I'll meet one.
no.
One day.
One day.
Do your viewers know you're Canadian? I hope so.
I think some of them do. I have dual citizenship, and but I claim my my red, white, and blue in my blood, so I definitely take that. But yes, I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia, Vancouver, and Canada, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. No one's judged me yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Vancouver's basically Bellingham, so you have an in that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now Bellingham, I have not ridden there. You live in mecca of mountain biking.
Yeah, that literally is the only way to describe it. It is I think that Bellingham is the best place in the whole United States, arguably the world, to live for mountain biking. And Bellingham is great because across the border you have world-renowned trails.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Bellingham itself is just, it's like, I call it, it's the worst kept secret in mountain biking.
That's so
We have
cool.
hundreds of trails, tons of people that love riding. There's always somebody to ride with. It's a great place to live.
Now, how's the weather there though? Does it get pretty bad cold? I know
No.
Vancouver doesn't really.
Well, yeah, it's the same as Vancouver. So we can ride basically 365 days a year. We get a little bit of snow maybe for a week or two in the trails, but that's rare.
That is, you see, I keep adjusting my hat. I'm not comfortable today. I don't know why, but you never wear a hat. Yeah, you do. You have one.
Oh yeah, I do, but I have these luscious locks that are falling out in the back, so I got to try to show them off.
Well, I had long hair, so I got it cut, and now it's like really short on the side, so it's annoying me. So I'm sorry that I'm moving so much. But yeah,
No, it's
Bellingham.
good.
So how far away are you from? Everybody asks how far away from Whistler are you?
It's like less than 3 hours. So if I go to Whistler, I leave at like 6:30, and then I'm there by 9:30.
That's insane. That's not
Yeah,
fair. That's not fair.
yeah.
I'm gonna quit my YouTube channel or I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna move my wife and family up to Bellingham. That's awesome. So, how many trails around you? I mean, not just Whistler, but everybody knows Whistler. But what some good trails around you that people might not know? Now, obviously, not the private ones or the secret ones, but
There are no secret trails in
there's no
Bellingham.
secret trails.
Thank you very much. Nope, they don't exist. No matter what you ask me, no matter what you say, they don't exist.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah, I mean Bellingham, Galbraith is the place everybody knows. But
Yeah.
we have Chuckanut, which is where enduro races used to take place before our Galbraith trails got sanctioned. Those are the two main areas in Bellingham. But the cool part is, right across the border, like where Jordan Boostmaster lives and makes videos, all those trails are like a half hour away. So basically from my house until Whistler, you've got 20 options to ride your bike.
That's pretty awesome, and a lot of it. What's that one trail that you post a lot? You did it on your bike review, your NS bike review. It's got
Oh,
the
is it
it's
the
a jump line.
jumps?
Yeah, the jump line.
Yeah, so that's called the Cedar Dust Jump Area, and it's like a hangout spot. There's four options: green, blue, black, and then a
It's
pro
awesome.
line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a dream.
Now you've been a secret, and I've heard people call you a secret. What is the word? Your skill level is secret. People really don't know how good you are, and you don't even talk about how good you are. But your skill level is progressed significantly in the past year and a half. Have you hit many pro lines? Like the one where you're saying right there, that jump line. Have you hit that pro line yet?
Yeah, so that one is not so a new pro line just opened up. That's a true pro line. That one that's called the pro line
Yeah.
is just like double black. But yes,
Okay.
I've hit that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I used to keep my riding under wraps a little more. It's I just like I don't talk a big game. I just like to ride bikes
Yeah.
and I things I don't ride. And right now it's just really big jumps I'm not down with. I'm down with like and when I say really big jumps, I mean like 60-foot things that only professionals hit. I have no desire and there's no way I'm going into those.
Now you went
But
down
anything besides
Crabapple,
that,
didn't you? Crabapple hits.
yeah, on my hardtail.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Now those are
yeah,
ginormous, though. You're talking.
yeah. But those are not those are cheater jumps, right? So Whistler in Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong. You've never been to Whistler.
I've never been to Whistler.
Whistler jumps don't count. They do not count. When people are like, I've done a 50-foot jump, and you ask them where? Oh, I hit the moon booter on A line. I always go, you haven't hit a 50-foot jump, and here's why: because they're like 6 cars wide, and basically you go up these takeoffs and you just like don't do anything. It's like this is what I tell people when you go to Whistler: just like be in the attack position and keep your speed up. And the jump, you all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my gosh, my wheels are off the ground, and then all of a sudden your wheels will be on the ground perfectly in the landing. Like it's like doesn't make sense.
There's no pop
So
feel or that kicking feel at all.
yeah, so you can and you should, and that's how you do tricks and get really good, and that's boost master. You boost jumps,
Yeah.
but you don't have to at Whistler. So somebody, and this is what like it doesn't make sense until you ride it. Somebody can ride A line and not be that good at jumps and just keep their speed and momentum and clear everything.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I gotta go there then.
yeah, and the biggest difficulty at Whistler is getting the gumption. I mean, seriously, to go fast. And so I grew up on dirt bikes and doing skateboarding and all sorts of stuff. And so my brain's a little like I have some screws loose, whereas like I don't comprehend speed and other things. So I'll just go for stuff and I don't think twice about it. But for a lot of people, getting comfortable at speed at Whistler is the hardest part to succeeding.
That's insane. I see. We're saying the smoke is messing with the internet. So, oh, I understand. Okay, sorry, but that's what. How is it? Is it? How are they able to create something that no one else is creating? Like
Whistler? Oh, Whistler?
yeah, Whistler. How are they able to make it so that you don't even? I mean, you can. Are you able to clear? Are you saying you're able to clear the jump without even boosting at all?
Most of the jumps, I would say, like on Crank It Up, which is a blue trail. Yeah, yeah, you can without boosting. Yeah, you can
So
clear all of them.
what's the difference between their jumps compared to others? I mean, how are they
Yeah,
not
so
as
like
lippy?
yeah, so our jumps in Bellingham, the takeoffs are, you know, 4 feet wide versus 40 feet wide, and they're shovel packed and they're designed to go trail speed and pop versus just float off them. So there's a huge difference. So watching a Jordan Boostmaster in his backyard or his backyard trails hitting these huge jumps, it's crazy impressive compared to doing it at Whistler.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. My computer's being stupid. Love this. Okay. Well, that's insane. So like I was saying earlier, and you wanted to talk about it. I have to bring it out to everybody. Josh is the, I've had BKXC on here. I've had Andrew Taylor. I've had some pretty big names in the YouTube and mountain biking world, but those are like, what was the word I used? Fanboying. You fanboy them. You're like, oh my god, it's Hanson.
Yeah.
Josh, everybody, is my. I don't want to like lift you up to like God level. You're my YouTube creator in a way. I have a mad respect for this man because he helped me create my channel, and I've been talking to him ever since it started. And I am, if you can't tell, I'm above ecstatic to have Josh on tonight. I guess I'm fanboying a little bit. It's okay, but yeah, it's something else to actually have you on here. I've been wanting to have you on here for so long, and I'm just super pumped to get people. Hopefully, there's someone in my group right now that has not seen your channel. I talk to people all the time on the trail that has not seen your channel, and that's what I want from this. I want people to find new channels with this. So, everybody, get some questions out, and so we can get to know Josh a little bit more. But you had mentioned the Enduro. There's a pretty decent Enduro trail close to you. You're going to be. Are you planning on doing the Whistler Enduro ever again, or was that a one and done?
Yeah, I would do the EWS 100 at Whistler, which is the full EWS course.
Yeah.
But this year was a no in general before COVID, just because of where I'm at with my family. We have a 8-month-old,
Yes.
and I also have a almost 4-year-old. And so with 2 kids, I just knew this year wasn't going to work. But no, I would love to. I really enjoy racing atmosphere. The Whistler race, I would argue, is probably the best race for me to do well in.
Yeah.
If I went to Florida or Georgia or those places and did an enduro, I don't think I would do as well because Whistler trails are steep and hairy and scary.
Yeah.
And we rode it in the pouring rain, and that's like check my boxes of all my favorite things. So, yeah.
Well, we don't do enduros in Florida. We do Mad XC. We go up to North Georgia to do some enduros, but that's cool.
What's XC?
I don't know. It's this weird thing. Everybody's like wearing tight clothing, and
Like road biking?
kind of. I don't know.
Oh.
They tried to keep doing the same course over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know. It's kind of cool down here, people say. So I haven't tried it. I mean, I have tried it, but I didn't really like it, so I don't know. It's not.
So just clarifying, Florida is super hot, super humid, and
Yes.
people ride in the same circles over and over again. Is Florida
and over again?
Is it hell for mountain bikers? Is it a literal hell for Is that what it is?
It's pretty hot, but it's still fun. We have fun. We find
No,
what we
it
can
looks.
do.
In all seriousness, I always rag on XC. I tell people all the time. I was like, I really want to go to Florida. Yeah. I have some friends that live there in Orlando, and I want to go ride mountain bikes. And people are like, "Oh, you're so funny. You want to ride bikes in Florida?" I'm like, "No, seriously. They have some great places to ride. People don't believe
really
it."
Do.
Yeah.
We really do. We use what we have. Everybody's like, you can mountain bike. That's what I get that all the time. So you do what? You mountain bike? How do you mountain bike in Florida? Oh, we find our ways, but it's just hot right now, stinking hot. So it probably feels really good up there. And the thing we have here, because it's so flat, we can pedal and pedal and pedal and keep on pedaling and pedaling and pedaling. But when it comes to climbing, that's where we start to suck. So
I hear you guys have better climbing strength than we do because you guys have to go up and down so often, and it's sprint climbing.
It's sprint climbing, but like a consistent climb. And maybe it's just a roadie talk. Going to places where they have to climb for ages, it just kills us. But the short, punchy climbs, that's all we do. That's all we have. But let's see. We got some questions in here. Have you ever gone over yours and bikers' weight loss journey? We talked about that for a second, but yeah, Are you planning on doing I mean, you just kind of started your diet. Is this
Uh-huh.
something that you're going to continue showing the progression of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan is to make a update video once a month. So this next one, I'll talk about what I'm eating in order to lose weight,
Yeah.
and
Celery.
then I'll talk
You
about
already told it.
yeah, celery and water. But I have
Hmm.
to show like how I prep, like how I cut the celery.
Yeah.
I have certain pH balanced water. Just
Yeah.
kidding. So I'm gonna show what I eat, and then the next video I'll show kind of what I do for working out and how I manage basically like my strategy, because that's the one thing everybody wants to know. Like I've had people are like already like, dude, you've lost some weight. You look good. What are you doing? Right? That's
Yeah, of
everyone's
course.
question.
That's always the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll give away my answer to everybody here because I want them to join my pyramid scheme that I've created. And my I wrote a book. It's called The Secret to Weight Loss.
Yeah.
I'll read it to you. It's real. It's a long one. It's chapter 1, eat more healthy food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chapter 2, eat less crappy food.
Hmm.
Chapter 3, manage your calories. That's about it. That's all I do.
That's awesome. Well,
Uh-huh.
if I wish it was that easy.
Science has said it is, but sometimes when we have a bag, science goes out the door. So
Yeah. I understand. Okay, so people are saying the smoke. The one person said the smoke. So what is going on? You had mentioned before we got on. Are you still there? We got
yes,
this?
I am
Okay.
here. I can hear you.
You had mentioned something about the smoke going on. The fires are down in California, but what's the smoke people are talking about around here?
Yeah, so it's all the fires in California, and then there's fires in eastern Washington, and all the smoke is coming north. So we're
Okay.
getting hammered with all the smoke.
Jeez, is it causing any issues for people in your area, or is it just
Yeah,
ashy?
basically you're not supposed to go outside right now. Like you're like
Really?
mountain biking is a big no-no. Everything is don't go outside.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds terrible. So
When you live
you haven't broken that rule then?
well, I've broken my hand, so I haven't been able to break the rule.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's living in the Pacific Northwest where we have some of the cleanest air around with all the trees. Like it is very odd to be told you can't go outside because of air quality.
That's terrible. So
Yeah.
what are you doing in the meantime then? I mean, besides writing your book and trying to convince your wife that it's okay for you to lose weight, what have you been doing?
Yeah, and the book's finished. The
Oh,
publisher's
okay,
already picked it up. I
that's
read the
good.
whole thing.
That's
They're
good.
concerned it won't sell. But anyway,
It's okay.
I have an exercise bike in my garage, so I've been
Okay.
watching some Netflix while spinning some miles in the garage and hating life because the one thing I hate way more than road biking is pedaling in one place going nowhere. That to me is awful.
Well, do you have at least the Zwift set up?
I did have a Zwift setup, but I didn't use it, so I sold it.
So
But
you
now
just
I
sit there
need
and
it.
pedal. You just sit there and pedal and don't look at anything.
Yeah, it's like very depressing,
Yeah.
but it's what it is.
Your wife comes in. Are you? You're really sweating. Yeah, I know. I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Luckily the tears if I cry enough it makes like a happy face and then that cheers me up, but I'm actually looking down on it so it looks like a frowny face, so
Makes you
it's a
cry even more.
cycle. Yeah, yeah.
That was awesome. But no, you recently did get a gravel bike. You got into gravel biking recently. Um, is that a big thing around there? I know here because, I mean, we're flat. Everything's flat here.
Yeah.
Gravel biking. There's like one place to go gravel riding around me, but it's a huge growing thing here in Florida. Is that a big thing up there?
Yeah, gravel biking is growing everywhere, and it's growing here a lot because, and I don't know if you've heard this, so don't laugh if you haven't. Um, the one thing everyone's saying is they love gravel biking because you can go on easy trails and it feels like you're going down a really difficult trail.
Yeah.
And so I always joke, I'm like, oh, so gravel biking is like for preschoolers that want to feel like they're really good. Is that what it is?
It's for
And
XC
everyone's
guys.
response.
It's for XC racers.
Exactly. But so I thank you. Um, No, I've loved it. So I always bash road biking. Like
Yeah.
if you follow my Instagram, if I ever see a road biker, I like pull up my phone and I'm like, every time, this is seriously in my head. Every time I see somebody riding a road bike on a busy road, I think, what decisions in their life led to this event to take place?
My best friend just told me yesterday. He's like, we're taking up a new hobby. And I'm like, oh, sweet. What are you doing? He's like, we're not going to mountain bike. We're going to road bike. And I almost laughed like immediately. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Okay. He's going to take up road biking.
yeah, it's like, did you get picked on as a kid or is work really tough? Like
It's
you
picked
want to
on.
Yeah, you want to put on spandex and ride next to vehicles that text and can hit you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you want to go to places that you can drive in your car. Like, explain to me why this is a good idea, right? So anyway, as much as I joke, I do love getting a good workout, going
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
long rides. But I would never buy a road bike because then I'd have to buy spandex and lycra and
Yeah.
ugh. So anyway, gravel was a great option for me. I can ride on the road and look like a roadie, and then I can go climb my normal mountain bike trails and go down my normal trails, which I do, and I feel like I'm about to die, and I like love it. It's so fun.
That's awesome. Now we have lost a couple people since we started talking, making fun of roadies, and we got Dawson Gibbs on here. I don't know if you watch Clint Gibbs. Dawson's
Oh yeah, his son.
Dawson's on here. We're not picking on your dad. We're not picking on you, Dawson. Dawson likes to XC ride a little bit, and I know his dad gravel rides. Yeah, he said Clint Gibbs likes to gravel ride. He actually got me into gravel riding. It's fun. I enjoy it. I do. I have to admit, I'm making fun of it, but I have a pair of, I don't call them spandex. I have a pair of padded chamois, and I said to my wife, "Have you seen my padded chamois?" And she started laughing because she thought I said, "Have you seen my padded panties?" And so that's what she calls them from now on. So when I put on my padded panties, I go and road cycle sometimes, but I prefer to gravel it.
Yeah, the padded panties is what the insiders in the roadie industry call them. So you're just yeah.
So I'm
That's
fitting
what,
it perfectly.
I mean, I haven't been an insider, so that's just what the weirdos tell me. But anyway, no, Dawson is a great example to understand my despise of road biking because him and his dad came to Bellingham, visited the transition headquarters, went and rode our trails. And once you come here, you understand why nobody would road bike here. Like it's just it's pointless up here. Like when you have hundreds of miles of world-class trails, why would you ride on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are still them out there every day.
I mean, once again, we pray for those ones.
Prayer is a good thing
Yeah.
for those roadies in safety and in mental capacity.
Yes, all the above.
That's awesome. So, speaking of prayer, I don't know if a lot of people, you said I could talk about a lot of stuff, and there was nothing holding back. You, my fine sir, are a pastor. That is what you do for a living. You are a pastor. You have one of the most important jobs in the world. Now, you were a youth pastor, correct? You're not anymore.
Yeah, I worked with middle school and high school students. That was my plan. People don't know. I got my undergrad in basically it's pastoral ministry. It's in order to become a pastor. And knowing that I wanted to work with middle school and high school students. And I did that for, 6 years and then moved into my current role as an associate, which basically means you do everything that nobody else wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's the fun stuff.
Yeah. That's you write the papers out, you go see the people, but you still if anything it can be a more satisfying position. That's awesome, dude.
It's been pretty cool.
Did you grow up wanting to be a pastor?
Yeah, I grew up going to church, and for any of your viewers who maybe don't go to church, there's a bunch of different churches, and so for some people they think of like a Catholic church with like pews and a guy in a black robe. For other people, they think of like a Mormon church that feels very like, man, I'm joining an insider club and I'm not sure what's going on, and I hear there's golden diapers, but I don't know if I get a pair. And then like I grew up in a church where like I got you that time. I got you. So I grew up in a church where, uh, it's you have programs for kids, and then you have programs for middle school students and programs for high school students. So my middle school pastor was a guy who looks like just like me and Jeremy, and was a goofball, but was like, hey, you know what? I love to do everything you do, but at the end of the day, I think Jesus is the most important thing in my life, and mountain biking or my job or all those other things come second to that. And just very, I won't say laid back, because it's it's your eternal destination,
Yeah.
and standing with the creator of the universe. But it was it was given to me in a way that was like, I think the lie is Christians don't have fun,
Yeah.
or people who follow Jesus are weird, or they don't get blank, right?
Well, we're definitely
And
weird, but it's not a bad thing.
well, we all are, right? Like, especially roadies. But anyway, so yes, I grew up in a really good church, and I knew when I was like 13, I was like, one day I want to be a youth pastor. Like, that seems like a really cool job.
And because of the youth pastor, is that what was the story of starting? And I'm tying this in because I know the answer to this. What was the start of your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I moved to Bellingham for a job at a church, and that's where I still am today.
Yeah.
And I got into mountain biking. I've kind of been into it just a little bit. I've just kind of dabbled, right? Like, I wasn't full blown addict, but my friends convinced me to do it once or twice. You know what I mean? And my wife said it was a bad, but I really wanted to meet more people and mountain bike with more people. But I realized, as a pastor, a lot of your circles of like friends and people you hang out with and people you see all the time are all very much like you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I am a guy, like, Bellingham's very, very liberal, very not conservative Christianity. Not that I'm hyper conservative, but I'm a conservative in all intents and purposes, right? And so I was like, how do I get involved in mountain biking with people who aren't like me? And I was like, well, I could go drink a bunch of beer at the pub, or just drink a little bit of beer and try to like meet people and stuff. But that seems like online dating style. It's just weird. And I said, I know what I'll do. I've seen people make YouTube videos, and they do a pretty good job, but I think my personality could give just a little bit different of a spin. And I think people would like that. And my goal was, in order to meet more people and get to
You still there?
know the mountain bike
Oh,
community. And I mean, it's like, the mountain bike community doesn't talk about religion a lot, and Jesus, and whatever people believe, whatever it is. So I wanted to be able to talk to people about what they think about God, or if they're atheists, or where they're at. And so I started making videos, and at first I was like begging people to ride bikes with me, and now I got to fight them off with a stick so they don't. I'm like, I got to spend time with my baby, and they're like, but I want to ride with you. It's like, I know, we'll do it.
We'll do it. Well, that's totally awesome. There's a purpose behind your YouTube channel. Where do you see it? You started all the way back then. I saw someone post that they saw it back when you had. Let's see, what was your first one? What did he say? Where was it? Hold on a second. I'll find it. I promise.
No, that's good.
He saw you all the way back. You did a review over your Tokel, the review over your Tokel. And watched you since then. Where do you see? I mean, I definitely see the progression of not just mountain biking skill, but editing skills and all that kind of stuff. Where do you see? Yeah, the how to wheelie like a wizard video was one of the first ones that I saw of you. Where do you see your channel going to in the future? In the next 5 years, 10 years, if YouTube is still even around.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I went from making videos for fun to, hey, I can save some money on bikes, to, hey, I can get free bikes and I can get free stuff, to, oh, dang, I can earn a full-time income on this. And so a little less than, I started my channel 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And after a year, I was debating going full time and just being like a part-time youth pastor.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I prayed about it. And at the end of the day, I said, you know what? I really enjoy making videos about mountain biking. But at the end of my life, when I'm I'm not gonna look back and say I made more videos about testing a tubeless tire for a YouTube,
Yeah.
or I wish I spent more time taking more runs at Whistler. And I realized the thing that really made me happy and filled me up was my full-time job as a pastor. And for a lot of my job, it's spending time with people in their weakest moments, losing a son, their parent passing away, just having a tough time with life, dealing with anxiety and depression or whatever. And in those moments, just being able to care for people and be there for them. That to me, I was like, man, that's what my life's for. It's not for mountain biking. It's for me serving the Lord. So I made a decision like 2 years ago. Like YouTube's not going to be my full time job, but I'm going to keep doing it as long as it's still fun.
That's awesome.
And it's become less fun for me over, I think, especially this year with COVID and everything. It's just been hard. I'm wanting to be a good husband and a good dad, wanting to actually ride bikes with my friends without cameras where we can just be ourselves. That's taking a lot more importance in my life. And so I plan to always make YouTube videos. It's a fun outlet. It's a way for me to recharge my batteries. But I see my YouTube channel, to be really candid, slowly just becoming what I do on the side and not being my main thing. And I'm totally at peace with it.
Yeah. I've kind of seen you kind of not drizzling out, but just you're not posting every single week now. You post, your videos are still great and they're important and everything. They're awesome, but you're not posting as much as you used to. So is that why? Is that just started kind of just fizzling and you're making sure other things are more important right now? I mean,
true. And the biggest thing, I mean, since we talked about my job, like once COVID hit, our church went from we don't really do that much online to, oh my gosh, we have to do everything online.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on staff who knows how to make videos, edit them, post them, have a social media presence? And then all eyes went to me like, oh, hi, Josh, guy with 100,000 YouTube subscribers. How you doing?
Yeah.
And so all my editing time went to my job. And so at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to edit another video. As much as I love my audience and I love making fun videos, my drive for it just went down.
That's crazy. Now that kind of transitions to what this question is. Michael Glidwell is asking, so are you self-taught in both MTB and YouTube? Did you like editing and all that kind of stuff? I know I'm completely self-taught and watching other YouTube channels to learn to edit and all that kind of stuff, and even mountain biking. You had said you and your wife, did you say that a second ago, started doing a little bit of mountain biking first, or?
No, my wife has not touched a mountain bike a day in her life.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's pedaled around the neighborhood, but no, I grew up jumping bikes. My friends. Yeah. So that's like, I always loved bikes growing up until I could drive. So, but yeah, I'm self-taught bikes. And then, I was like, my friend was really into video making and editing in high school. And so I watched over his shoulder enough to say, I bet I could do that. And then I got into it and I was like, man, this is really hard, but I just kept doing it. So.
And I have to, unfortunately, admit, you are a Mac user, an Apple guy.
Yes.
So I'm surprised, with that, you being an Apple user, you're not a roadie. So
yes.
It's a weird combination there that you are a mountain biker and you don't road bike while.
Yeah. Unlike some people, I like my computers to work and not crash every other day.
Yeah.
I like that every time I turn on my computer, there isn't like 17 updates.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
All jokes aside,
We've lost you. I can't hear you anymore.
Exactly. PCs have come a long way, but the best thing, Mac resale value, you cannot deny. You get a bajillion more dollars for a used Mac than you ever can for a PC.
Yeah, but the PCs look so much cooler, though.
I mean, if you think like a plastic Halloween Batman costume chest plate looks cool, that's what PCs look like.
I have a Hulk in mind. A Hulk action figure sitting there in mind.
I'm not surprised.
That's my favorite. I can't get him out. I would get him out, but he's in his cage. He's like,
And
that's what he's doing.
and Jeremy, now that we've talked about my job, I'll tell you. You know why I got into Max, right? Was my job was because all the software of the big churches I worked for could not run back in the day on PC. Now they can.
Maybe
so
I just believe in
had
healing a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah, they just couldn't run, and
Lay
so
of hands.
now they can. But back in the day, if you were in professional live audio or video or anything, you had to be on a Max.
Yeah, I agree. I went to school for recording. I'm a certified recording engineer, and everything there was Max. Everything was Max. Everything.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an Android. You have an iPhone, an iPhone. Our stuff comes out first. You guys copy, but it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. God has blessed you in on your path, and to each his own. Let's see if we got any more questions coming up. Let's see. How's the weight loss?
Why you?
Go ahead. What?
Oh yeah. Oh, I was gonna say while you look for that, I will say you're right that Androids and PCs come out with stuff first. But do you want to be the first guy who dives into a pool of water you're not sure shallow or deep and like 10 guys before you broke your head open? Or do you want to be a guy that does a triple front flip and everyone thinks is the coolest guy around? I want to be the cool guy.
What if you do a triple front flip and you're the first one in?
It doesn't happen, man. That's called being a PC owner, and they just hit their face way too often. Got him.
That's hilarious. Let's see. Shred Shed is asking about the weight loss again. Seems like it seems like you're not having issues. Is it going harder at all, or is it are you just lying to everybody and it's most biggest struggle you've ever done in your entire life?
No, I mean I struggled the time that once I saw Robert going full bore, and I don't know why a switch in my mind flipped and things are good, man. It's been
awesome.
Crazy.
That's awesome. Obviously, you're eating more than you're actually putting peanut butter on the celery, not just celery itself. But
and the ants and the raisins.
The ants. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my God, I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Yeah. Now I know what you're gonna eat right after we're done.
Dana. Oh, she's asleep. Let's see. Jordan Juice.
Oh, is the Juice Master
Juice
here?
Master. Jordan Juice Master. I've never seen this dude before. That's awesome.
Dude, Juice Master's the man.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Have you done the Cedar Dust double black line yet?
Oh, so now I know Jordan Juice Master is from Bellingham. That person, I think it's a he, gave me my biggest super chat of $100. But yes, Juice Master, I have done the double black jump line. I do it once a year. So yes, I have done it. I have not done it this year yet because I was tempted to do it on my hardtail, but I haven't yet.
His picture is even Jordan.
Yeah.
But making a funny face.
Because it's...
What if it is Jordan? Is it Jordan?
No, it's not. But Jordan has come down and hit that jump line, but I don't think it is.
No, I'm saying, I'm just wondering. Everybody has a troll. Do you have a troll channel? I don't have a troll channel, but I'm just.
Oh, one that I use?
Yeah.
If I did, I wouldn't
not a
tell
troll
you.
channel like a. Yeah, I get. Well, you got to. It's a Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour, and we tell the truth on Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour, and there is no secrets. I'm actually from Portland, but I drive to Bellingham all the time. Jordan Juice Master says. So.
Oh. Wow, Juice Master, you're telling me a lot more about yourself. I want to learn more about you. What Juice Master doesn't know is we have a YouTuber Slack group, which is like a work talking. And Juice Master, you've come up a couple of times. We're very interested in who you are.
I've heard of this chat group, and Juice Master, I think that's awesome. Jordan Juice Master. I wonder if he juices on apple juice or something like that, but.
No, Jeremy, he juices, man.
He juices.
Yeah.
What is that? You gotta watch yourself when you do that. Your pinky's sticking out.
Yeah, when I give the thumbs up, it also looks like I'm flipping people off, so I have to be careful. Yeah. Anyway, juicing's like steroids, dude, like injections.
That's hilarious. Dawson says he has Blint Kibs and Clint Ribs.
That's good. Blint Gibbs.
Glint Kibs or
Yeah.
Clint Ribs. That's awesome. Daily MTB is a roadie on his troll channel. That's what Michael
Oh,
says. You're a roadie. On
yeah.
his troll channel.
Daily roadie biker, or what is it? Yeah.
Daily
Daily.
R. What would it be? Daily
Oh, I know.
RD.
No. Daily spandex rider. That's what it would be. No,
That's
lycra.
too long.
Daily lycra. No,
That's
it's
a little
daily
closer.
lycra, Reka.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Daily
Yeah.
lycra rider. What color? What if you had to wear lycra every single time? If you had to, like you
Yeah.
know, you go to golf courses and you have to wear a certain dress code. If
Yeah.
the dress code for mountain biking, you had to wear lycra, what color would you wear?
Obviously, I own lycra just in case. And of course, there's only one option, and that is I would pick skin color, so people would think I was naked, and that is hilarious. You're welcome. Come on, man. I mean, can you imagine seeing somebody in skin color, just like? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I would wear that.
That's awesome. Okay, Dawson says yours is monthly lycra rider, not daily.
Yes.
Monthly lycra rider.
Yeah, there we go. That is my name.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, do you plan on any? You did the EWS, and you said you're talking about doing it again. Obviously, you didn't do it this last year, but do you plan on doing any other enduros anytime soon?
Yeah,
Or
I always do
XC
local
races.
I desperately. So here's the thing. I want to do one difficult race in every discipline.
Yeah.
So I do want to do a century road ride or a double century. They have a Seattle to Portland, which is just about 200 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I would like to try to do that in a day. I know that'd be dumb, but I'm not the smartest guy, so I'm down to try it. So I do want to do that. I do want to do a cross country race, and I always do the local enduros. We didn't have any this year. You had to travel quite a bit, but no, I love enduro riding, so I love to race.
Now that one trail system. I mean, you said you got some enduro. You don't have any enduro. Excuse me. You don't have any enduro close by to you?
Not this year, but we do. We do.
Is everything pretty much shut down up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Washington is like California, basically. Our governor. I've heard some nicknames. His name is Governor Inslee. The best I've heard is Kim Jong Inslee, which I don't agree with, but I think is funny. But anyway, we are basically permanently. You can't do anything.
Dang. But you can still. Yeah. I mean, obviously not now with the smoke and the fires and everything, but you can still go outside and you can mountain bike.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to bike with like anybody outside of your household, even still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
And I mean, you follow the rules on that, so I know you do. So you just recently crashed. That's how you screwed your wrist, your hand up, right?
Yes.
From a wreck. What kind of what actually happened there?
Well, I would tell you I wrecked, but we don't have any secret trails in Bellingham. So I was riding a sanctioned trail.
Yes.
And it had a really hairy like right-hand turn that was not super steep because that would make it not legal. But I just noobed it. Like I just pulled such a noob move and I was going too slow. I should have let off the brakes. I went over the bars and I hit my hand and I was like, and my hand like got a little swollen and I was like, this is annoying. But I rode the rest of my ride and then it was 2 weeks and yet there was just one spot in my hand that in random motions, like I was trying to buckle my son into the car seat. I would go to get the buckle and it would like make my hand hurt. I was skimboarding and I planted on it flat, like right where your grip goes.
You say skimboarding? Skimboarding?
Yeah, skimboarding.
That's awesome.
Do you know what that is?
We back in college in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there's no ocean anywhere. But I live at the ocean, so yeah, of course I know what skimboarding is. But
Oh, sure. There you go.
I actually skimboarded back in college. Every time it would rain hard, certain areas would flood, and a couple of guys had skimboards, and we'd go out there and skimboard. It was awesome.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We'd come back with
But
leeches instead of shark bites. We'd have leeches on us. So
there you go. Yeah. But I planted when I fell skimboarding, and then it hurt again. And I told my wife, and so that was like a week ago. And so on Friday, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna go get my hand checked out. I'll just get an X-ray. I didn't think it was broken. I thought it would probably be like a strain on a muscle. So I went to the doctor. I told him, I was like, it just hurts in this one spot when I press on it. And he was like, yeah, it's probably a sprain. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought, but it's still hurting 2 weeks later. And he's like, okay, we'll get an X-ray for good measure. And then like 45 minutes later, he was like, the X-ray looked a little iffy. I sent it to a specialist. Yeah. The specialist said, yeah, it's a fracture. So I went from I could ride my gravel, aka road bike. I could ride my mountain bike if I was like just chilling. Like I would just went to full on cast, no riding, 6 weeks.
That's you clicked out there. How long did you say?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay, that's not that bad. That's still pretty bad, but not that bad. And I guess it's a good thing that not good thing, but you really can't ride right now anyways because of the smoke. So it makes it eases you a little bit. But Blair Robinson asked if it was actually a boxer's fracture.
Yeah, it's a boxer's fracture.
Yeah. There we go.
It's I was going to say it's the neck of the fifth metacarpal bone. Yeah, so
that's awesome. Well, I mean, it's not awesome. That sucks, but it is. And at least you can be proper when you're drinking your tea, like I said, and have. Yeah. Well, I guess it's the 2 fingers. So
there you go. Yeah, just
you're giving like a weird peace sign or something like that. Oh, what is that? It looks like it's awkward.
Yeah. I can't do that. If I do okay, it looks like I'm flipping people off. If I do thumbs up, I'm just flipping people off all the time.
That's awesome. So with that, what is that your worst wreck, or has there been a worst wreck?
My worst wreck is what started my YouTube channel actually. And I was at a local pump track after a ride of mountain biking. I had a brand new full suspension bike. Yeah. And the rebound was like too fast and my form wasn't good. And so I pumped into a double and like in a pump track. So you can ride it. And I flipped forward, landed, and I separated my right shoulder, broke my left wrist. So I was in a sling and one of these casts in my left wrist. And yeah, so and my son was like 9 months at that time, and I couldn't pick him up. Like I couldn't hold him. Like it was bad.
So you broke your right wrist, your left, and your left shoulder. So you couldn't use either arms.
Yeah, it was awful. So yeah, it was my left wrist because I realized now this time I broke my right hand, and I'm actually left-handed and eat left-handed. But it's so hard to have a broken right hand because I do everything else with my right hand. So anyway.
That's weird.
Yeah. But I couldn't do anything. And that, I was off the bike. I was losing weight. I was really bored. And I was like, you know what? I think I could actually start making my YouTube channel. I created the name Daily Mountain Bike Rider in July, the end of July, beginning of July. And then right when I got healthy, my first video was in October. I still have my cast on, I think. But that was like that injury plus too much time, plus my friend saying he's going to make videos of trails in Bellingham. I'm like, I've wanted to do that. I can't let him beat me out, which is funny now because Matt is still a good friend of mine and he never ended up really making videos. But all that got me to make my channel.
So Daily MTB Rider, obviously, I mean, kind of makes sense of itself, but how'd you come up with that?
I wanted to get better at riding, and I knew the answer was simple, is if you want to get better at something, practice every day, right? And so that was the mantra, is like, no matter, and I still live this out, like even with a broken wrist, like no matter what I'm doing, every day I try to pedal my bike, whether it's around the neighborhood or out on the ride. Like I just love bikes.
That's awesome. That's I think that's a big Phil a big feels for a lot of mountain bikers or cyclists. Period. It's a thing you can't stay away from too long. But Blair Robinson says forget right clicking.
Oh, dude, I have to use my left hand on my trackpad. It's awful. Luckily, on a Mac, I can actually just use two fingers, which you can do on a PC too.
Yeah, I can use two fingers. I mean, we have those type of mice. You can use a thumb to go back and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
My grandpa used that. He taught me how to use those, but yeah, that was the '60s. So
the '60s. Now,
yeah.
how old are you actually?
Oh, if you ask how old I am, you have to
You're
guess how old I
You're
am.
younger than me. You've told me before. I don't know. You just turned 30.
I turned 30 this month.
Okay, you turned 30 this month. Well, happy early birthday. Oh, Ashley, when are you there? You froze.
I'm here.
Oh, you're still frozen. There we go. There we go. What is? I'll say my birthday, and you don't have to say your birthday. Mine's on the 18th of this month.
Oh, my sister's is on the 19th. Mine's on the 23rd.
Okay. Well, I'm older than you. My birthday's sooner, but you got a bigger YouTube channel, so it's okay.
There you go.
But with that, you recently hit 100,000. Is that
Yeah.
How cool? My dog started barking. I think my wife is watching this. The little medal. How is that? Was that heavy to you? I asked Clint Gibbs. He just recently got it. Was that a big huge thing to you? Did that feel pretty cool to get that silver YouTube boob tube thing?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it was surreal because that was for me. I was like, how cool would it be to hit 100,000? And
Yeah.
when I started, I don't know if I thought I would, but it was pretty awesome. Mountain rider, and it was a cool thing. It didn't. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is what I've always wanted. Paul, who's a buddy of mine, Paul the Puncher, he was like, this is the cool thing ever, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but it's I liked it.
That's awesome. Are you planning on continuing? I think you said it a second ago. You're planning on continuing, just keep going, but focusing obviously as you're pastoring. You're gonna stick with. Your channel's. I said to Clint the other day too when I had him on. Your channel's kind of different. You do some POV, you do some gear reviewing, you do different kind of stuff. Are you going to keep it pretty much the same, or what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on anything, or do you just want to keep it as just random?
I just want to keep making videos I enjoy making, and a lot of those are around mountain biking. I got my mini truck that people have enjoyed as well. It's actually sold now, unfortunately, but no, I'm just going to keep making videos that I think I would enjoy and I think people would enjoy, and that makes me happy.
That's awesome. Now, a while back, you've been trying to do a backflip. Did you ever? I don't know if you made an update video on that backflip. Did you ever get that backflip?
No, I haven't finalized it. Like I really want to get it onto a resi, like a little padded landing. So I'll get the backflip for sure one day.
Well, we all look forward to that. So we are coming down close to the end of this podcast, and we got, I think, time for one more question. We got Crankzilla asking, are you rejoining the Joey podcast?
The answer is I actually was talking to Paul this morning, and I said, I left and the Joey podcast died. And Paul's like, I know, it's on me. But no, I do not have plans to rejoin the Joey podcast. Though, if it got kicked up again, I would for sure jump on and be tempted to. But with the busyness of life, I can't commit to that right now.
Well, I'm one that it was sometimes I tried to, but I watched almost all of them straight through. They were long sometimes, and
yeah.
I mean, this is an hour long. This is a little long sometimes too, and we go a little crazy, but it's okay. But how do you? I like to finish off my podcast with asking people that I have on. How do you end? What's the words I mean, what's the words everybody knows that you close your videos out with?
I always tell them, don't spend too much time watching guys like me and Jeremy from The Lifted Adventures, talking about mountain bikes, life, what we do, and interviewing great guests so that you can hear more about their channels. But get out there, ride your bike, and make sure you do it every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is my favorite part today. Like I say every single time, guys, make sure you lift up God, lift up life, lift up the adventure. Get out there, make your own adventures. Go check out Josh's channel, the Daily MTB Rider. Everybody has the before there's no. I guess they don't. It just
Not me.
sounds like it does. Dude, thank you so much for coming on and being on my podcast. It's a huge stepping stone to have you on here, and congratulations again on hitting 100,000. And I know you're gonna get to that million someday, and I'm excited to have you on here and be part of that. So, everybody, go check out his channel down in the description below. If you haven't seen it, you got to. It's one of the best ones out there. Thank you so much for coming on to the Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless. It's always the long wait for the button to actually work, and I still press end, and it doesn't.